The Walt Disney Company finally did it. They finally put Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, out on YouTube. Of course, the preview only. But it's a bit of bravery they were not willing to do before, lest they sink Moana 2 and perhaps put themselves in even more controversy. Well, we're here to tell you, things are not going well for Disney now, as Zegler is earning record-breaking dislikes right here on YouTube. Hello folks, welcome back to the place that knows what Snow White should look like, and that is definitely not it. Nor should it have incredible numbers of dislikes. Now at the time of this recording, we can say that Snow White has achieved something like 30,000 dislikes. You're going to see that number change as we go through this video, as this takes in different times of recording regarding when this had different amounts of dislikes. One thing is true though, a huge ratio, unlike anything we've ever seen, is happening to Disney, and it may portend that Rachel Zegler should never pretend to be Snow White ever again. Sequels? I think not. We'll tell you and show you why Disney handled this the way they did and what their plan is to get out of it, and we'll start right now. Well, we've all been waiting to talk about this one, so let's get at it. This Putom, is Disney Snow White official trailer. And it has finally released. Now, it has been 2 weeks that it's been out there in the public, but it just now made it to YouTube. And the reason is clear.
Funny is I've been running around with no pants for 60 years and no one noticed.
Don't give the CGI dwarfs any ideas.
I guess
here.
I bear all.
We noticed, we just don't point it out.
I knew he was going to do that. All right, so we're bearing all, and we are refreshing.
Well, with the poo in the street, we finally got the answer to the age-old question. Yes, it does stick.
so that jumped by at least 1,000 just when you hit refresh just then.
Yes. So we are currently at 8.3 thousand dislikes for Snow White, and this is with 2 hours in, and again, 68,000 views total, which means that this is something like 13 or 14% of everybody watching is clicking the dislike button. Now that's amazing because YouTube has made it such now that most people never see the dislikes. So you have to actually really dislike this enough to click a button that gives you no indicator for what's happening. We are running a special extension that allows us to see how many dislikes there are. 8.3 thousand dislikes. And I got to say, I think this is going to lead us into a scenario in the near future when those dislikes are completely removed. I don't know that to be true, but there's been some rumblings about it. But some serious rumblings are happening over here on That Park Place, the website that if you are not yet bookmarked to it, well, you should be. It says Rachel Zegler's Snow White trailer finally releases on YouTube. Dislikes begin to pour upon Disney. Here's what the article says. As we read it, it says after nearly 2 weeks, the Walt Disney Company has decided to finally put the Snow White live-action remake trailer on YouTube. The company had kept the trailer exclusive to showings before Wicked and Moana 2 without comment as to why it was hidden away everywhere else. The truth is almost certainly a very coordinated, positive PR campaign to protect Moana 2 that seems to have been quite successful. The preview trailer for Snow White was released earlier in 2024 and was a colossal failure for Disney's Alan Bergman. The VP who oversees the film side of the company was likely quite displeased to see the trailer become one of the most disliked movie previews in the history of cinema. It was well earned. Zegler has been part of a controversy after controversy, whether it has been calling the prince in the story a stalker, or claiming the original Walt Disney film is dated, or weighing in on Middle Eastern politics in crude and obtuse ways. Zegler has been anything but princess-like. And who can forget her preemptively declaring that she would not be bleaching her skin for the role? A lot of people, by the way, that's sort of been buried at this point. Remember, though, that nobody said anything at all until she immediately upon getting the role of Snow White came out and made that statement, and everybody's like, who's this chick? But with Moana 2 releasing last week and Disney desperate to get this new trailer out into the public without significant controversy, a strategy seems to have been hatched that has proven fairly adept. What is that strategy? Well, it was two-pronged. One, hold the reviews for Moana 2, embargo them until 2 hours before it comes out. And then two, don't let Snow White get out except before Wicked and Moana. All of it was designed to protect Moana from Snow White. Now, as a publication, folks, you can see that it was 4.7 thousand dislikes. But of course, that continues to increase every time we refresh it. We have to pausify it. 8.3 thousand dislikes right now with 68,000 views. We've all seen it. We've all watched it. But folks, let's do it one more time with the trailer, and then we'll get commentary on why the panelists believe Snow White is so terrible. I hear the moans and the groans from our friends here on the panel saying, no, bro, don't do it to us again. Also, before we play this, do you all recall having this Mickey Mouse thing down here? Is this their new watermark for their channel? I don't know. Maybe
it's brand new. It's brand new. That's brand new. The little white Mickey head. That's brand
I'm just
new.
wondering, like, is it some sort of system they have in place to take us down? I don't know. Anyway,
if that's a hidden Mickey, they're not even trying anymore.
Exactly.
This was my father's kingdom, a place of fairness, but the queen changed everything.
Notice that fairness now refers to like being just, no longer being beautiful. Yes.
Right. And maybe, just maybe, that is a thing to indicate that this was not the one that was shown in the theaters. Because to me, there's a bunch of stuff that's different than what we saw that was shown in theaters.
It's a little bit longer, yeah.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that they've put out the extended cut for YouTube?
Imagine that.
Okay, we gotta watch. When we come across new things, you tell me, Culture.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say on the subject of protecting Moana, I find it very upsetting that you guys won't let me back on here since I was right about Moana.
What do you mean you were
bull crap? You won't let me back on. What the heck is that? I told y'all it was going to be a huge hit, and now you're being so petty and you won't let me back on the show.
What are you talking about?
You know,
it's called a joke. It's actually funny.
Next time you're on the show, we need you to apologize, Tom, and then we can
maybe I'll think about it.
You know what? Let's all apologize for making the audience watch more of this.
I'm apologizing for Snow White, and I had nothing to do with it.
What did you say?
The people need some kindness.
Weird. You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Opinionated woman.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, Misty. But a lovely maiden I now behold.
A lady named Sydney Sweeney.
And I just want to be the fairest of them all.
Referee Earl Hebner, he calls it right down the middle.
So far, I'm not seeing anything new. What am I missing? Is there new stuff later?
I don't know. I didn't watch the leak too much, but there's two things I noticed right off the bat. First of all, confirmation that is definitely Corey Burton's voice, if not excellent sound alike. The magic mirror effect looks awful. And how are they gonna send the black guy to be the assassin? That doesn't feel progressive.
Oh, there's no way he's going to be an assassin. No.
Wait a minute.
He's a huntsman.
He's a huntsman. He's not an assassin. Same thing.
Yeah, totally different. Come on, Jonas. Get with the times.
It seems pretty prejudiced on the part of the evil queen.
He's going to hunt the most dangerous game, Jonas.
If he kills these creepy animals, I am all for it.
My parents always said this forest was a magical place.
Because that turtle is doing some serious substances. Yeah, well, he does too.
I'm just glad to see Mitch McConnell's getting out. It really does look like him.
Darn it, that was so good.
That was really funny.
that was so good.
Forest was a magical.
Everybody say hi to Mitch. Hi, Mitch.
I just want to say that I'm in Snow White.
Well, the great thing is,
Kentucky viewers now.
The great thing is that Mitch actually pauses like that halfway through paragraphs.
We'll keep going.
I personally am terrified at the thought of Rachel Ziegler getting 3 Supreme Court justice picks.
You know what? Here we go.
Now that's funny.
Hello? Is there anybody here?
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a sec.
Hey.
Culture, how did you get into this movie?
Well, you see, yeah.
You're even wearing a red shirt today.
What happened to your glorious mustache?
I am. Yeah. Well, there was this magic thing that one of the people did and took it off, but it's back now. As you can see, I've got the mustache back.
Can we get our professionals with Microsoft Paint to put a gray mustache and glasses on that, please?
Wait here. Here. I'm going to give you the full face.
Do you have a little pajama hat that you can wear?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I could probably.
We need a little green pajama hat. You've got a green elf or Santa hat.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Why are we doing this to culture right now? Why are we doing this? We could be talking about the fact that the teeny tiny Rachel Zegler is for some reason taking up 3 beds.
Well, of course she is.
First of all,
the entire audience's reaction all across North America when we see Zegler.
But this is an enormous amount of discourtesy on her part. She was wet when she got into their beds. So 3 of them, including Dopey, are going to be like, "Why are my feet wet?" Well, because this discourteous lady laid down on your butt.
No, just going to leave that one alone.
Wait, it's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost. You'll be safe from the Queen here.
The Queen stole everything from all of us. I'm gonna need your help. It's time to restore
Snow White, Princess Warrior.
She's all about the collective. So,
She's like Little Red Riding Hood and Robin Hood got together and made a socialist baby.
Hey, well, did you hear the initial message from Skeleton Crew? Holy cow.
What? We'll get to it in a minute.
for our kingdom.
Waiting on a wish, holding out for someday, hoping somehow, some way, here comes a miracle.
Find Snow White.
I close my eyes and see the girl I.
So she's not pining for the prince.
Farquaad is really into this one.
Well, you know what? Snow White was one of those princesses that never had the "I'm going to college" song. So here it is.
Well, first of all, I'll just say, because 99% of what I say about this woman is negative. She's a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
She does. And it's obvious that she went to theater school at Harvard based off of the opinions that she's got.
Who chose this camera angle? This is terrible to her. Like, this is not even her fault. Who decided, let's give her the Farquaad and have her look straight up in the air with her eyes closed? Jeez Louise.
This is our kingdom, and now we're here to take it back.
You were saying. I'm sorry, my dear.
I just got to say, as the professional musician on the panel, y'all are on crack. She can't sing for crap.
Her voice definitely isn't right for this role. That's for sure.
She needs to play Snow White. You got to be like 3 octaves higher. I mean, you basically have to sing at Alvin and the Chipmunks level, but still feminine.
Did I frighten you?
No, but she did. All right, let's take a look at those dislikes.
So I have to ask, do you think that they're going to have to change the Wishing Well song at Disneyland because of this nastiness?
In all seriousness, though, no. She's doing this, I'm going to be loud. That's singing. That's not singing.
Well,
I agree. I don't think she sounds great.
That's Broadway.
That's Broadway belting, and that's something that...
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just like, if you just sing out loud, you can sound like you can sing. That's not singing.
I'm singing.
I know, right?
It was. Or Buddy.
For my prince to come.
So let's point out why they will definitely be changing the Wishing Well here. It's her and her dad sitting at the Wishing Well, and the original Snow White starts with a little opening. You could call it a crawl. It's just text on screen. The first things out of her mouth is "I'm wishing," and then the well echoes back. I'm wishing for the one I love to find me, and then thank you, Culture. It's like we're watching the movie right now. And then the prince, who was kind of coming there anyways, he shows up and finishes the line. She says, "Today," and then he goes, "Today," very loudly. Anyways, so the entire premise of the film is that she is longing for love and for someone to rescue her and to get her out of that space. So Disney did a good job animating Snow White, But there are moments in the original Snow White where it seems like they forgot to draw a face on the prince. But feminists have been so offended by the idea that this woman wants to get married and go marry a prince that they think that this story is about the prince coming to save Snow White instead of looking at the positive qualities of Snow White. Instead, they want her to be the socialist revolutionary here from this film. They've redefined the principal aspect of the character in which she is the maximum feminine. She is the fairest of them all. She is someone that every man in the kingdom looks to and says, that is true beauty. And instead, they have this thing about government, because that's all these people really want. They want government, and they want power, and they want to inflict their image of what is right through the government. And that, I'm going to say, makes a pretty boring fairy tale. That's some Marxist garbage. And I'm really not looking forward to watching this. I would rather go watch the original.
But she was found in the snow, Jonas.
I can't wait for the part where she opens the borders and floods the evil queen's kingdom with immigrants, elves, dwarfs, gnomes, everybody from far, far away. They're all coming in. And culture, right there.
She's already an immigrant making her way into someone else's house and taking it over. So
she's worse than Goldilocks.
Anyway. And then she makes them fix up the house.
Hey, Erica, yes. Are you? Do you think kids are going to get these little dwarfs? You think we'll get these plushies? Are kids going to be? Are they going to love these little cute dwarfs? You think?
Thanks.
Well, they're even.
No, the kids want to go see Moana. I don't think when you put the two, you give a child a choice. They're going to want to see an actual animation on a screen. I don't think this live action would. Given the choice, they're going to want to do Moana 2 over this.
I'm afraid that the dwarfs are quite the departure from the animatronic characters that are in the shortened roller coaster that they have at Disney World's Magic Kingdom. I think those characters look more like the original animated characters, whereas you can see a full representation of the original characters in that ride. I don't know why they couldn't just create a 3D animation of that, or just actually hire dwarves. Real little people who need jobs. Yeah,
there's an idea. I want to know. I want to know if there's going to be a Gal Gadot cut where it's just Gal Gadot and I don't have to watch Rachel Zegler, because I would watch that.
I'd go for that. Absolutely.
I don't know why they didn't just release the original in theaters.
Thank you.
That's what they could have done. And instead of just doing this live action, it was the first animated feature. It's got all this history. It's very popular. Which technically was never even supposed to be released into the privacy of people's homes per Walt's wishes, because he knew eventually movies would be in our living rooms. But they threw that in the trash. But yeah, they could have just re-released Snow White, the original, back into theaters. That would have been better.
Hey, Tom, have they recently done anything to the original Snow White that might make it worthy of a re-release?
It actually quietly got released on 4K last year. And I agree with Erica. Like, that was the biggest snafu they ever made in the history of history, when you have the 100th anniversary of Disney and you didn't reintroduce the vault idea. It's like, instead of taking it back, you could have released 2 of the classic Disney films remastered in 4K from top to bottom every month last year. Started out with Snow White, and then Bambi, and then Pinocchio, and then some of the more modern ones here and there mixed in. But you've got the 7 vault classics plus whatever ones you want to add to that mix now. See, that's another thing you could have done, is made this a bigger deal, being like, we're adding more titles now to the vault. The vault is coming back, and you will no longer be able to see these titles once they go back into the vault until they're available again. That could have been genius, right? Mm-hmm. So, but
it's a very empty vault these days. Just Song of the South sitting in there.
Yeah, because the only classics we have in 4K are Snow White and Cinderella.
Folks, take a look at this. Snow White now up to 13,000 dislikes. Rachel Zegler not having much fun today. Disney feeling dismal. 13,000 dislikes, out for 3 hours. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet. That's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.